The Soybean School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Pride Seeds, Cruiser Max Vibrance Beans, and High Stick NT.
Soybean harvest. Depending on where you are in Ontario, people are getting started or wish they had started or are some weeks away from starting. It's a bit of a mixed bag. We're standing here in a field that's been harvested within the last short while, yet in the background there's still a field of soybeans that have not been harvested. So you as the operator, as the farmer, has to decide, you know, if the beans are tough, if they're 14, 15, 16% moisture content, what do you do? Do you wait? Or do you take them off and deal with them once they're in a storage bin to condition them down to 13 and a half? Leaving them out for any length of time when they're mature and ripe, and it's August or it's October, that's a bit of a gutsy move. At least if you take them off tough when you put them in the bin, then you can manage them there. So let's assume you take them off a bit on the tough side, 2-3 points above what your target moisture, what you would like to have for soybeans. Majority of beans on farm are dried with natural air. It can be made to work. A couple things you need for it to work. One, you need nice dry days, and by dry, I'm saying less than 70% relative humidity for outside air. You need sufficient airflow. If you're 2 to 3 points over your target moisture, you should have about 1 cubic foot of air per minute per bushel to get the job done. If you're only capable of achieving a half a CFM per bushel, don't bother. All you're doing is changing temperature. So to get the job done, you got to have well in excess of a half a CFM per bushel, preferably close to 1 CFM per bushel. You need to run the fan when it's 70% relative humidity or less. In order to make that decision, you need to have a good instrument to measure relative humidity. You can't just rely on the dog or your hair or the radio to give you that value. It's going to be different for your location given what you have around you in the way of bush lots, open water, those sorts of things. So buy a good device to measure relative humidity so you can make the decision when to turn the fan off and on. The other thing, if you're drying soybeans with natural air in the bin, you're likely never going to run that fan in the nighttime hours. Humidity goes up, the same reason you can't combine usually much past sunset, because the straw starts to get tough. That's the same reason you're going to add moisture back to the soybeans. So if you run the fan nonstop day and night, nothing will change except the moisture in the beans will go up and down and up and down and up and down. After it's all said and done, you'll still have tough beans, and you'll be poorer because you've had to run the fan. So know your moisture content of the beans. Again, accurate moisture content measurement with a good moisture meter. Put them in a bin if you're going to dry them with natural air. Don't put so many, only put enough beans in there so to still maintain about 1 CFM per bushel airflow, and then pick a dry day to get the job done. Once they're in storage, watch them, monitor them at least weekly to make sure there's no surprises.